Reading quotes in life lessons is like unlocking the wisdom of the greatest thinkers throughout history. These carefully selected aphorisms have the power to transform lives and provide valuable insights. And today, we have the privilege of delving into the profound ideas of one of the most influential philosophers of the modern era, Karl Marx.
Reason has always existed, but not always in a rational form.
This quote reminds us that reason is not always logical or rational, and that it has evolved and changed throughout history.
History is not like some individual person, which uses men to achieve its ends. History is nothing but the actions of men in pursuit of their ends.
This quote highlights the importance of understanding that history is not a passive force, but rather the result of human actions and aspirations. It reminds us that we are the creators of our own history and have the power to shape the course of events.
The philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it.
This quote encourages us to move beyond mere contemplation and actively engage in making a difference in the world. It reminds us that ideas and theories are valuable, but they are meaningless if they are not applied to create positive change.
Everyone who knows anything of history also knows that great social revolutions are impossible without the feminine ferment. Social progress may be measured precisely by the social position of the fair sex, plain ones included.
This quote highlights the significant role of women in driving social change throughout history. It emphasizes the importance of gender equality and acknowledges the contributions of all women, regardless of their appearance.
Every step of real movement is more important than a dozen programs.
This quote emphasizes the significance of taking action and making progress, as it suggests that even small steps forward are more valuable than a multitude of plans or intentions.
We cannot always choose the vocation to which we believe we are called. Our social relations, to some extent, have already begun to form before we are in a position to determine them.
This quote suggests that our paths in life may not always align with our desires or aspirations. It reminds us that external factors, such as social relationships, can greatly influence our choices and opportunities.
Only that position can impart dignity in which we do not appear as servile tools but rather create independently within our circle.
This quote emphasizes the importance of maintaining our independence and creativity within our sphere of influence, rather than being seen as mere instruments of servitude.
Every emancipation is a restoration of the human world and of human relationships to a man himself.
This quote emphasizes the importance of personal liberation and how it can positively impact both individuals and society as a whole.
Language comes into being, like consciousness, from the basic need, from the scantiest intercourse with other human.
This quote highlights the fundamental role of language in human existence and emphasizes the importance of communication in our daily interactions.
The theory of communism may be summed up in the single sentence, abolition of private property.
This sentence conveys a radical perspective on the concept of property ownership, suggesting that the elimination of private property is the core principle of the communist ideology.
In place of the bourgeois society, with its classes and class antagonisms, shall we have an association, in which the free development of each is the condition for the free development of all?
This quote reflects a vision of a harmonious and equal society, where individual growth and progress are intertwined with the collective well-being.
Hegel remarks somewhere that all great world historic facts and personages appear, so to speak, twice. He forgot to add, the first time as tragedy, the second time as farce.
This quote presents a thought-provoking perspective on the cyclical nature of historical events and the potential for repetition. It suggests that significant events and influential individuals often reappear in different forms, with the first occurrence often carrying a sense of tragedy and the second as a farce, possibly implying a less serious or consequential outcome.
Hegel remarks somewhere that all facts and personages of great importance in world history occur, as it were, twice. He forgot to add, the first time as a tragedy, the second time as farce.
This quote reflects a satirical perspective on the repetition of historical events, suggesting that they often lose their seriousness and become comical in subsequent occurrences.
Men make their own history, but they do not make it as they please. They do not make it under self-selected circumstances, but under circumstances existing already, given and transmitted from the past.
This quote reflects a sense of determinism and acknowledges the influence of past events on the present. It reminds us that while we have agency in shaping our own lives, we are also bound by the circumstances we inherit.
A man cannot become a child again, or he becomes childish.
This quote suggests that once we have grown up and gained knowledge and experience, it is impossible to go back to a state of innocence or naivety. It reminds us to embrace maturity while still maintaining a sense of wonder and curiosity.